right. Well, everyone is on now. Great, great. Well,
Hey,
hello.
how everybody doing? Greetings, everyone. Greetings,
Good.
greetings.
Are good. We are good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining. All right. So, hello. My name is Padricia Benjamin, founder of Branches, a sisterhood, and I have my marketing and communications rep, Kenya Matthews.
Hi, guys. So excited to be
Going
here.
on.
Thanks
All
for
right.
joining us. We're going to have a good night tonight.
Absolutely. And we have two guest speakers. We have Gregory Harvin from Virginia. He is a realtor. And then we also have Marcus Quarterman. He's a Cigna engineer, lives in Deltona. Okay, welcome, guys. We are happy and excited to have you here.
Yes.
And welcome to BranchUP. All right. And where we talk about our hard-hitting issues and openly and honestly. So in today's society, we're going to go right in this. Our topic for the day is submissive or not. Now, wanted to go over this. In today's society, we're hearing a lot from men about how women should be submissive in relationships and marriages. And so we want to talk about that. Now, the definition of submissive is allowing yourself to be controlled by another, or obey or give way to someone else. So with that in mind, it's a very good topic, and I thought this would be a great introduction of what we really want to talk about. So I'm going to let Kenya go ahead and start asking the first questions, and let's see where we go with this. But we're really excited to have you here.
Y'all ready for the smoke?
All of it.
Okay, so there's two of you, so I guess maybe I'll just ask the question in general, and then whoever wants to kind of just chime in first can go about it that way. But the first question that we have for you guys today, it is, what is your idea of a submissive woman, and is it based on biblical? So this is a big topic now. So I want to hear from you guys, whoever wants to go first.
Well,
Marcus?
I mean, for me, it's not so much biblical for me. It's kind of, I think that that's a role that more so reserved for women.
Oh, okay.
Now, I say that, but let me elaborate a little bit before you jump the gun. But I feel like if a man creates a heaven for a woman, it will allow her to be submissive, if without telling her that. I feel like that's something that that shouldn't be something that's taught.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I think that's something where if a man goes out and work, pays all the bills, I think that a woman should not have to be told, look, at least you could cook me a hot meal when I come home.
Right.
That should be, I think that should be natural. I think that's
right.
my perspective, on it. As far as and there are a lot of guys out there that feel like, oh, well, a woman should be submissive, and they're not even playing their role as a man, in my opinion.
Big facts, Marcus.
Okay. Great.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I want to say that first.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
So, and I also think it's, respect also, plays a factor. It's important. But as a man, I've never felt that way, though. I can't even say that I had friends that, even felt that way. But, I've been around guys that feel like, oh, well, the woman should this or the woman should that. And, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know?
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Right.
it's just, I've never felt like that, that a woman should be doing what I tell her to do,
Or you allow your women
that's
to be opinionated and free, but as long as the receiving ends are meeting, then
correct.
You're okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
Yes,
I love
I'm fine.
Okay. I love
Nice.
that answer. What about you, Mr. Harvin?
Well, I look at it as submissive is a really big word. When you use it in a marriage, I think it takes two, of course, but I wouldn't want my wife to be submissive. Um, I agree with Marcus. I'm more so, she has to be free minded. She has to be willing to think. Because all that takes part in the family, So being totally submissive is something that, I think that's just too controlling. That's like a slave. That's like,
Mm.
slave
Back.
driving.
I feel like it's going backwards, and for women, because
Not really just backwards, just, being able to, move forward too, because sub is just being part of. So that means you're not really having her as a whole, because she don't know how to, I guess, express her opinion, share her thoughts, that's what I need, because that helps me be who I need to be.
Okay.
Being submissive is, I don't think it's godly either, because I know he spoke about it in the Bible, God did, but I think it's just part of a woman as she studies her man, understand who he is. Then she won't have to be that way if she pay attention, just like men. A lot of men pay attention to women, what they be
Right.
wearing, and I think it has to be the same for a woman. She has to really pay attention to the man too,
Absolutely.
because I think that's when you don't have to worry about that word submissive. It just comes out of love, wholeheartedly, and men like that. So I don't think it has to be submissive. I just think that she just has to pay more attention. Let me say that to her mate, so that she can see the things that he likes, and kind of help him throughout his day if he's struggling in this area, or he needs for her to pick up something, or whatever the case may be. And I think it's vice versa. I think men ought to do the same too.
Okay.
Because I think that's just part of growth in marriage. Having someone half or part, it's gonna cause confusion to me. It's gonna make it real difficult for either party to understand or even love each other, whole. And like Marcus said, well, there are men out here who want a submissive woman, but I don't know if that's his background, where he comes from, but I wouldn't want one.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's a good, you guys have some really good answers.
Absolutely.
Y'all done fired me up. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the next question more towards you, Greg, first, because of how we left off with your response. Do you think submissive women are weak women? Yeah. Because from what you said about how you
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
want
say
your woman
weak.
being like that.
No, I wouldn't say they're weak. I would just say they're just trying to please their mate, their man. So they're just trying to go along with the flow. They see how it works. A lot of women just like to go along with things to see what the result's going to turn out to be.
Right.
Whether it's being submissive or, thugged out, whatever the case may be, she just want to go along with it to see if it fits her character. She's just doing what her man wants her to do. But I don't think she's weak, because I see a lot of women who leave submissive men. The women they just shoot up. They just become who they're supposed to be. Probably with another man or in business, whatever. But I wouldn't say they're weak.
Okay. I want to go further with that question. What about, not that there's so much weak. When we talk about being totally submissive, would it be okay, because totally submissive meaning listening to your mate at everything. He makes all the decisions, period, in the household, basically everything. She
Financial,
completely give
kids.
way, earning everything. He has basically, we're not going to use the word control because take that out of there, but basically everything he says, that is like law in a household. With that being said, do you think those type of weak women, not that she could be weak, but maybe more boring because they're not saying it, they're just letting it all be on you, and it's not thinking for themselves? Because a lot of times that's what I'm seeing. It's not like thinking for yourself because you're being told, basically do this. Your opinions are not kind of counted in a household, you know? So you're making all the decisions and that person is just going afloat. And Greg, when you said that, that's what I thought about, when someone's just going afloat. And I wonder, in that type of situation, can a person truly be happy? Because if you're not able to have an opinion, mindset, an opinion about,
Right.
what's going on in your household, how can you feel like you're, you know, um, even important in it?
Right, right,
You know,
Valued.
right. Value,
valued,
right,
yeah,
Marcus.
valued. So when a woman is completely submissive, and what I mean by that is, like you were saying, completely follow your man, but I mean blindly, because this is blindly meaning you don't know finances, you don't know any of it. It's all on that person, and that
Right.
you're 100% trusting. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't trust your mate, because we all trust our husbands, and our husbands trust us. But
Mhm.
I'm saying, when somebody can have complete 100% control of a marriage, where does that leave the other person? So to me, it feels like maybe not valued if your opinion can't be heard, or somebody's going to always, it's going to come down to that person making the decision, then that person's not being heard. So sometimes that's why I was asking, if does that would that be an attraction for you, or somewhat? Because I mean, let's just be honest. We all are
Marcus is like,
submissive
no,
in
no,
a
no, no.
way in a relationship. Let's just be honest. We all are, because traditional roles will never go away. It is an under right now, probably it's just in the back of everybody's mind, because there are women who do things that women do, like we're normal nurturers, we take care of
Right.
household. That doesn't mean that we do it all. I mean,
Right.
we probably do most of it, because that's our nature. Just like a man's nature is to take care and provide, but that's in us. That doesn't mean we don't help.
Right.
So that's basically where I was going with the complete submissive. Would you find a woman like that more attractive, or kind of do you want a woman that is standing up and saying, "Hey, let's do this"? Because a lot of women are taking their place and not controlling a man. It's just side by side with them. So what do you think about that, Mr. Harvin? Because I know you were saying going,
I just think of what a man or woman wants. Some men wants that. Some women want a man to just complete control, and that's what she wants to do. She just want to just
so
be
you think it's a
submissive to him,
choice?
no matter what. You know.
Okay.
But for me, no, I wouldn't want nothing like that. Some men do. That's just their ego. I
Yeah.
call it their
Ego and
ego they
preference.
plan on.
So it boils down to
Some women
preference.
want a man that's very controlling.
That's true.
That's like I said, women got different preferences. They don't want no.
Right.
Some women don't want a weak man. Some women don't want a strong man. So
Right.
Right.
sometimes we have to go with where we match up with. So
And that's both ways.
Okay. And that's both ways.
yeah,
I see what
What do
you're
you think,
saying.
Marcus?
So it's a preference for you. Okay. Preference for people. It
Right.
is. Okay.
Well, for me, absolutely not. I need somebody that can think for themselves,
Right.
and I don't want somebody that's gonna, because there's no one person that know everything. So every decision that you make can't be 100% right. Every decision that you make,
Right.
and
right.
I just refused to have somebody by my side that would watch me make a decision because I'm the man, and it be the wrong decision, and we're together. Like, I mean, that makes no sense to me. I need somebody to tell me, look, that's not the right decision. I don't think that that's the best decision, you
Happening.
know.
Okay.
Right.
And so I need somebody that can think outside the box as well. You know, I don't need somebody, you know, trailing behind me. I need somebody by my side.
Right.
With
Okay.
that. So
I love that.
That's,
I love
yeah,
that. And to
too.
piggyback what you said, Marcus, a lot of like when some women kind of want what, like, is there any time where the woman might want to like roles, kind of like what Padricia said about the, oh, well, I don't want to make decisions on this, but you make decisions on that, and I'm just going to 100% trust you? Or is it just like, no, I want you to always have an opinion?
no, that won't work either. To clear that up, because I mean there are decisions as a man that that only a man can make,
Right.
and especially when it comes to his family.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
there are things that a man can see as a man that a woman can't see.
Right.
So on aspects like that, I don't. I mean, I would consult, but as far as the final decision, because you know of what I could see as a man, I would have to, you know, the overall make that decision. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
I can agree with
So
that. I can
And
agree
then
with
and
that.
another point too is like we as men, we know we have to, well, we all need to pray. So we go into God for answers, right?
Mhm.
So in our mind, we know we have to go to somebody to get clarification, right? So if I can have a really submissive wife, then I don't feel like I can't get my full understanding of the answers. Even though I'm making a decision for a household, I need for her to say something too. Just like when we need to ask God to pray and do things for us, we have to go to Him. We have to pray so we can get the right answers. Because we don't want to move and make the wrong mistakes. So, as a man, that's just how we made up. Part of, as we need that part that somebody to say this wrong, this right, this wrong, this right. Because I mean, that's just who we made up of. So for me, that woman to be totally submissive, I wouldn't. That wouldn't work. That'd be really really rough.
For
For
sure.
myself too,
So
because all
what I'm
decisions
hearing from
just
the
bearing
both,
just on you. Sometimes
right.
we are gonna make mistakes. So a woman has her opinion just as well.
Okay.
I think everybody have their
I think
role to
everybody is on
play.
the same page with that, actually, because I
Mhm.
feel like it does take two, and I understand where Mr. Quarterman is coming from, and you also, Mr. Harvin, because as a man and a woman, yes, we all have traditional roles. It's an underwritten rule, but we all have that. But we do understand in a household that a man at some point, it depends on whatever a man thing, just like a man can't really give if it's a woman thing. It's everybody plays those roles at some point, and yes, you have to give it to him, because a man at some point is going to have to make a decision, because it's relating to that particular gender that a man only can make, and just like it's vice versa, only sometimes a woman can. But most of the answers, you want a woman to actually speak up and talk up, because sometimes it's based on the answer, or what your outcome is going to be, if for both to work it together. So that is very, very good. That I'm excited to hear that, and everything, but that's real good. So we're going to move on to the next question.
Mhm.
Do you think women, alpha women, can be submissive?
Yeah, let's talk about this alpha topic because we've been talking about a lot of, our submissive women week, which you both agree that they're not
right,
weak,
but
they're
you
just,
talk about alpha women.
But let's talk about the women who want the upper hand, very super, some men may say masculine, or
right,
women
because
who
of the
are
way they're
so independent, don't need a man, like
Very,
whatever. Let's talk about them.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's like, oh no.
Because we have that nowadays. You hear
Oh my
men all the
God.
time. Oh, she want to be a man. Oh, because she's very, dominant about things. She's, very opinionated, outspoken. She's not gonna back down and things like that. So, can those type of women be? And I am gonna be honest with you. I think yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I say yes.
I think it's
yes.
I mean, because I'm hard, but I may not be in the alpha part
I'm
of it.
an
But I'm
alpha here.
I may not be in the alpha part of it, depending on who you ask.
But I'm
I'm hard, but I know when to back up.
I know how to back up.
Right.
I don't
allow you to be
I
the
don't
man.
toe the line.
Right.
I know when to back up because I'm one of those take charge, this, that, and everything. But I do not toe the line. I know my place versus
Right.
that's all you.
Right.
And I know when to say I'm backing up.
Right.
Okay, fine.
Right.
And I know when to not. It's I think it's a mutual respect each other have, but I actually know when to not toe the line. I mean, I guess, and it goes back to what Mr. Harvin and both of you said. It's a mate thing. You got to know your mate, because if they know you,
right,
you know them. It's no problem in a person being that alpha. But what do you think about that? Like these real strong women.
I mean,
these gangsters.
Yeah.
My hat goes off to the guys that have to deal with them. That's what I say to that.
Yeah, me too.
What?
What'd
you say? I'm sorry.
No, I say my hat goes off to the guys that have to deal with them.
Right.
Me personally, I mean, that has to be draining. I mean, for a guy, because I see those women, those type of women, out there, and
I do.
I just remember saying, like, there is no way.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Just too Miss Independent. I just, it wouldn't work. Too much. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
That's too.
So when I hear people,
it's too strong for you. Like that's too strong. They're not allowing you to be the man. They're just.
Yeah, they don't look like they need a man. Sounds like it. They don't need a man. So.
And it's a line. That's why I say a lot of, I've seen it too. A lot of women, when they're like that, it's, and I've seen it where it's not attractive at all. Because
it's a turn off.
And I've seen that
total turn off
thing, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's okay to be a strong, because I am.
Yes, it's okay to be a strong woman.
I'm very strong. I'm very independent. I'm all of that. But one thing I am not is overbearing to my husband.
Right.
That's never a good thing, because bottom line is, regardless, that's where those traditional factors to me come in at. A woman is supposed to respect her husband, and period. So you don't want to overstep. That's completely no. That has nothing to do with strength of a woman. Actually, that's a little bit too that's not right in any role, to be overbearing to one another, but definitely not to your husband, because that's supposed to be, the head of the household. That's supposed to be your head, and you don't undermine or do any of that. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it up close and personal. It doesn't look good.
I mean, not all. To me, an alpha woman, she's not really looking for a man, because she knows her place. She wants to take over everything. Mm-hmm. She may not be looking for a man. So sometimes they just want a friend or a cuddle buddy, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. It's the only way to work.
We're talking about the ones that are in relationships. I mean,
Well,
we've
I
all
don't
seen it.
know many that are, and if there was one,
Right.
she's changed, you know. But
Yeah.
I
Well, the
don't know
right
one
man will be.
personally.
Can. Mhm.
You know, it's tough for an alpha female to be in a relationship. It's
Yeah.
just it's not gonna work. She's gonna go through numerous
Yeah.
of relationships. So
Right.
she knows
Yeah.
that already. So a lot of
You.
time when you found a really strong alpha woman, she's not gonna be in a relationship. You know, and if she is, she's looking to change. She's looking to get better at who she is or learn different roles of a woman. Because a lot of times, you know, um, learning that role, just like all men, we have to learn the role of being a husband, just like a woman has to learn the role of being a wife.
Absolutely.
You know, so that role has to, you know, she has to be willing to accept that role. And when they're alpha like that and they're not married, then she don't want to accept any roles. But if she's an alpha and she's married, I think she's working on accepting the role of being the woman that she needs to
Right.
be for her husband. I think that. And sometimes it takes a while, you know, because she's always been that way. So don't expect nothing overnight. But it can get aggravating. It can get a little frustrating at times for a male. But for an alpha woman, I think she can be submissive. She can. She can learn how to be submissive.
She can learn, right?
You can
Right.
learn.
She can learn.
I think
With the right man, yes, definitely.
alpha woman is fine. I guess it's the excessive alpha that
Right.
And
that
we've seen those.
I'm referring to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you show me excessive alpha woman, and I'll show you a lonely woman.
That's right.
Be it
But you only-
secretly or not. you
Right.
know. Most of them are by themselves. If you run into one and you check back with them years down the line, they're still by
They're
themselves.
still by themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Because it definitely has to be rolled. I mean,
And if they're not, they've changed. That's all that means.
Mhm.
Learn to change.
That's
Yeah.
why I just said I think it's depending on the man they meet, because eventually when they find a man that, you know, like Mr. Harvin said, you think that when they are looking, it could be possibly because they have changed or they're changing, depending on the man that they wind
Right.
up with. Because, you know, some men are not gonna, they're gonna be like, hey, I am the man in the household. And you can't just be, you know, doing, it's just basically letting a woman know and putting, you know, and I guess at that point, putting a woman in her place, because you
Right.
can't be the man
Right.
and the woman
Absolutely.
relationship. And no matter
Right.
no matter how hard you are, because I feel like I'm a hard person. When I say that, I mean, I'm soft on the inside, but I'm a shell on the outside, but I know the lines. So I think with alpha male, we're talking about something completely different. The ones that are, you know, I just seen the overbearing of, you know, telling the man or overbearing with the man and basically want to be the man. That's a lot of times that what I hear. And I've seen that up close and personal. So that's not cute. It's not cute. That doesn't allow a man to be a man. It's not allowing you as a woman to be like a woman should be. So I don't know if that comes from her being single though, and doing it all by herself. That do make alpha males when you're out there thinning for yourself for years and building everything on your own. So you could become that and don't even kind of know it.
Right.
Right. You know, I agree.
But that's where you were coming in and saying, Mr. Harvin, that if she meets someone, that it could calm her down at that point because she's probably never had that yet. So
Right. And then like
probably
Marcus
could calm her
said,
down.
like Marcus was saying, some of them are extreme,
Yeah.
you know, so you don't even look to try to do anything with them because it's not gonna work. You know,
Right.
she's always gonna have pullback or someone's gonna hit her. Somebody gonna slap her one day.
You're not lying, Greg. You are not lying.
I'm just saying, you know, just because she's gonna meet the wrong man with the wrong temper,
Yeah.
who's gonna
Right.
match her intensity, you know, and
Right.
he's gonna show her, you know, who's the real man, and then you hear about those.
You tend to
Then,
they tend to toe the line with respect. That I do.
Right.
Well, I mean, you kind of gonna run into your match one day, whether it's a good match or a bad match. You know, you're gonna get that match one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna
It's
meet their
ugly.
match for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna meet that male who can match your intensity and give a little bit more, because you know he looking for your type of woman like you. So
Right.
and you know he don't play the smooth, easy road and try to be nice. No. So
Right.
this is what you want. This is what I want to give you.
Yeah.
Kenya?
So one thing that I listening to what you guys are saying, we had at the very beginning we had said something about control. So do you feel that some men use submissive in a way to control women? Because at one point I feel like submissive was like the guys like that's why they don't have a man. They don't know how to submit. They don't know how to back down. They don't know how to do this. So it's like, you know,
The guys that are,
if I'm cooking for you, if I'm cleaning for you, if I'm got these kids, they good. What more are you asking from me? So is it a way to like dangle, you know, control us?
What
like
more?
puppets? Like what? Like a man demanding his woman be submissive, is that a form of controlling that woman?
What do you think, Kenya? What do you think?
Like I don't like. I didn't know how to be submissive, so I don't struggle with that. But I'm very opinionated. So I feel like let's just say if a man was demanding, I don't know, something, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I don't know. It's a question. I want to hear. I guess I want to hear what you guys have to say. If that's what make me stir up some. I don't know. Like it can be a form of just like controlling the woman in a sense of her. Like maybe she's too opinionated, or she has an attitude, or you need to stop being so too. You're too much in that. So controlling in that way, but. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a form of control?
I mean, it depends on I think it depends on the situation. And then to me too, because I've seen situations where where say for instance, something as simple as a guy demanding the woman to cook,
Yeah.
Again, like I said earlier, I don't think that, I mean, and then you have women, I mean, I say that, but you have women that really don't get it.
And what do you mean by that?
As far as, like I was saying earlier about a man shouldn't have to come home and tell a woman if he's paying all the bills, this needs to be done. Why isn't this done? You should do this. That, that, like I said, that should be something that should come natural. Now, if a man have to come home and say that, voice that, then to me, that's a problem. That's a problem. You know what I mean? So it depends on, and it depends on the guy too, because if he's just a controlling person and no matter what you do on every end, then that's on him. You know what I mean? But if you just have a female that just want to sit around the house, and just wait for you to come home to say what should have been done, then that's on her. That's something a little different. But yes, I have seen guys that are very controlling, just as females. So
right.
I think it's I think it's just that's just something that I can't deal with a female, a controlling female, and I don't think a female should put up with that from a guy. I don't care what he's doing, because like I said, if he's doing what he's supposed to, then she should be doing what she's supposed to. I don't think anything should have to be spoken on that end, in my opinion.
And I think we had spoke about earlier that men who are more controlling more need a woman that's a little bit less to handle, right? Either more submissive or not as
Controlling.
alpha, as we spoke about, someone who is okay being a yes ma'am, and just okay, it's just gonna go the way
Right. All of that goes back to the individual
right.
themselves. All of that goes back to the individual, because a guy just as a female would know if that's what they're looking for, if that's what they're willing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
I think also it goes back to how people set their relationships up, because a lot of times what I hear, and the reason why we talking about this topic, because what I hear a lot of times is that women now, like back in the day, we have taken everything so far, taking things back when they talk about biblical, because a lot of this starting to come up now with a lot of people with submissive things. It's always related to biblical, and that's what I'm hearing. Oh, it says this in the Bible: a woman should be submissive to her husband. Okay, it actually says that in Ephesians: wives, submit to your husbands as the Lord submit to Christ. However, if people would have kept reading, that's fine, because in the biblical days, women stayed home and cooked, cleaned. They were the nurturers and waited for the men, but the men got out there and worked, and the women didn't work. So everything was in order. But fast forward to now, in today's society,
2023,
women
things are different.
right, 2023, women are taking their place in the workplace, wanting their own careers and things like that. And that's good. Even if a woman chooses to stay home and her husband goes out and work, all of the submissive things can work depending on what's set up in a relationship. Because I feel like if a man is completely going out there and completely working and paying all the bills, then why should he come home to not a meal? I mean, I can't even understand why that would even happen.
Why would that even happen?
Like Marcus said, that is an underwritten rule that it shouldn't even have to be a question on how a woman takes care of her husband if he's doing that.
Absolutely.
Here is the problem I'm having when I listen to women and listen to men talk. When a lot of men say they want career women to get out there, and we're working, and then they're working too, and then we're putting in 50-50, but we got to come home and do 100%.
Absolutely.
Wait, hold on.
With
So
the
what are you
kids,
saying now?
with the
Just
cleaning,
because you
with
working,
the cooking,
He's like, wait a minute now.
that's my issue. So you want me to go back? Okay. So
you're trying to say it's less of because you're working?
No, we're working. We're in the workplace now, right?
Right.
So we're working. So now, instead of the man bringing home the bacon, and we're, like they used to say, cooking it and frying it and taking care of the kids and making sure the kids are done and the house is kept, we're out there working 9 to 5s. We're out there working past 9 to 5s now with you. So when we all put it in the pot and everybody's putting in 50-50, why do we got to come home and do 100% at home? I think it should be 50-50 too, because we tired. Think about, we got to come home. Where is our?
But y'all are always
off work. Where you get
y'all
off
are always
work, you're off, and you don't put the
tired
50 in.
when you're off of work.
You don't put the 50-50 in. I don't put the 50-50 in. But when I go home, I still got to do 100% at home. So, when women talk about that, they're talking about wait a minute, hold on. And I don't mind. I don't think any woman would mind doing the 50-50 if she wants to. I mean, that's depending on how someone sets up their relationships, marriages, whatever they want to call it. But I am saying, with that being said, what's wrong with a woman saying they need a little bit of help? Why do they have to ask? They should not. Everybody, it should be all 50-50 at that point. Because when that happens, I'm hearing, okay, they got to come home. They still got to cook. They got to come home. They still got to take care of the kids. They still have to clean. Because let's just be honest and real about this.
100.
If a person comes to your house and your lights go off, what the first thing people say? That's a shame that man got that his family living in the dark. If somebody walked through your house, whether you're working or not, whether the woman and the man working or not, if you walk through a house and the house is untidy, first thing they say, that woman's so untidy. She don't clean up or nothing.
She's not taking care of her household.
She don't take care of her household. So we all got our roles, but I'm saying, if a woman, do you believe if a woman is putting in 50-50 that she should come home and the house and the kids and the
50-50.
responsibility of it should be 100% on her. And when
I wouldn't say
say
100%. I would say
should we
she
be
needs to put.
50-50 at
She
that
needs to. She
end
needs
too?
to. She needs to add a little bit more than the husband. Always. That's just rule of thumb. Rule of thumb.
And I understand that rule of thumb.
You know,
but my
always a rule
question
of
to
thumb.
you
You know, always a
then
rule
would
of
be,
thumb. You know,
I
I wouldn't give her
understand
100, but she has to do a little bit more than me. You know what I mean? She has to do a little bit more than me.
So what
Okay,
do you
but
mean by
so
that, Greg?
roll-
What is a little bit more than you? Tell us what does that look like?
Not 100, but at least 20%. You know, we can 70, 50. You know, we can do. We can work on that.
So you mean 70-50 at home? What do you mean? Or 70-50 in all?
No, she's doing the 70. I'm doing the 50. Like you said, 50-50. You know, ain't no such thing as 50-50. Ain't no such thing as that.
You
There ain't
heard
no such
Greg.
thing as 50-50.
Fair. What?
You heard Greg.
Because
so then at that point,
hold on. Let me
but do
finish.
you see how?
You're getting away from a lot of rules and regulations. Even the Bible speaks of being a whatever. Okay, so it can't be 50-50.
So Greg is saying
at
he
that
does not believe in 50-50. The woman has to still do. She doesn't have to do 100. She just has to do more than 50.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but
Like
on the other end, so at that point, I mean, it just depends on if a woman, because my thing is, I don't mind doing. I personally don't mind. However, I mean, it's going to have to change on the other end.
See,
I can't be. That's where because you got to think about it. Like, if you get off work and I get off from work, you're off, but I'm on still. 100% is a lot. When you have, it's a lot. I can imagine someone with 3 kids or 2 kids or 4 kids, and this is,
Well, why is she working that hard anyways?
Oh,
okay, because maybe she wants her own career.
Oh, so you want to now you want to buck responsibility to go to work.
No. All I'm saying is, it's not
There's nothing wrong with that, but priorities were first. The kids were there first, so that was priority. So she wants to drop priorities and go and run and chase her career. That's what you're telling me.
Every woman has a right to a career. Yes.
I didn't say you didn't have a right.
But that does not mean.
I said drop your first priorities, your responsibilities.
No. I feel like, no, I'm not saying drop
more like
them.
a partnership.
I would form a partnership.
Like a partnership. More of like helping each other with house chores and children.
That's all I'm saying.
And cooking and cleaning.
Absolutely. I'm
so
just
like a partnership.
Both of you.
If you guys doing 50-50, then somebody need to hire a maid.
Absolutely.
Got a maid, a nanny.
See? Now that's if you want to be a career woman. But don't expect your husband to do the 50 and come home and now you want him to do the things because you're doing them.
I see.
No. I disagree with that. I mean, if you want to do what you want to do, that's fine. But then make amends to that. Don't just do it and expect. No. Expect your mate to do things. No. Okay, I'm doing 9 to 5 too, just like you. So this is what I'm gonna do, honey. We're gonna have a maid come over every weekend, clean the house up, make sure things.
As long as it's been taken care of.
She can cook real good. She comes over. She's gonna help us with our meals. Now that's what you want to do, but don't put your expectations.
Okay.
Because see, now if he doesn't show up or do the things and come home late, hanging out, now you're gonna be upset. Now y'all gonna be arguing.
Okay, I get what you mean.
I you know what? I'm gonna speak real quick. I agree with Greg. I think I don't think my husband cares what goes on in our house as long as it's done right. He doesn't care if I hire a maid or whatever. As long as he comes home and everything is done, he don't care how I accomplished a task. But it's my responsibility to make sure that it's done.
That's right.
I agree. It's all about the expectations, communication.
right.
Because let's just say I'm tired. I come
Right.
home.
That's
I'm
right.
like, babe, I just can't. Not tonight.
right.
I can't. Let's team up and figure out how it's going to get done.
Right.
Not saying you have to do it, but can we butt heads real quick so we can try to figure this thing out?
Right.
That's
Right.
different. But just having that expectation of like, I work, you work, so that means we have to split everything.
No.
I think that is a
So you don't believe in that either, Greg?
expectation. It's not necessarily not saying we're a partnership, because a partnership and then expectations are completely different. Where
Two different
if I'm
things.
to communicate those tasks,
That's
that's
right.
completely different.
That's
So
right.
I agree with you. I agree with you
Right.
100%.
I'm
That's
fine.
right.
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. Okay. So I agree.
Because you can't expect me to do something and
Right.
you already
It's the expectation.
right. You're expecting me, then I'm gonna disappoint you some days.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh yeah.
That's just what it if you expect me to
Definitely.
do some stuff, you're gonna get disappointed. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because the night may be basketball, football, beer night, hanging out with the fellas, just whatever. Church
Right.
night, I don't care what you put inside of it.
Right.
So, you can't expect those things to be part of me because you want to be, the career woman. Okay, make amends. Let's make amends.
Right.
Let's
Marcus, what do
let's
you
see how
think?
we can make this thing work.
I mean,
if that's what you want to do, but don't, we got 4
It's
kids
funny.
here.
Go ahead.
I saw a post, I don't remember where, but it was a female ranting, and it said something along the lines of about the guys that want things to be 50-50 or 50-50, 70 or whatever.
Mhm.
And in a nutshell, she was basically saying, okay, I'm doing everything that you done. Now we both come home, we both tired. Now you want me to perform bedroom duties, but I'm tired just like you are. So now, the male has the attitude because he doesn't understand that the female done been out working just as he.
Mhm.
So, and it's like, if you want to free that up, this is me speaking now.
I see.
If you want to free that up,
Okay.
as a man, it's like, I'll put you in a position to where you're going to have to come up with a real good excuse, possibly medical, why you can't perform
A
in the
medical
bedroom.
condition.
So, I mean, that's going to spell sense to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and I never really thought about that like that until I heard that. You know what I mean? Although I'm different. My heart is different. I'm cut, from a different cloth. So, it wasn't until it was put to me like that, I was like, oh, okay. I never really thought about that like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Although, outside of that, I don't really feel that way anyways, because I'm an understanding person. You know what I mean? If my wife has been out, working, or girlfriend or whoever has been out working or whatever, and I understand that she gets tired too.
Mhm.
So if she came home and didn't want to cook, or didn't feel like cooking, I understand. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why I say I'm a little different. And Greg, I get it. You know what I mean? About what you said. I totally get it. But that was just another analogy that was, you know what I mean, I ran across and saw. It just made me scratch my head like, oh, I never really thought about that. But
Right.
But I gave you my thoughts about, how I feel about it, my personal opinion,
Okay.
Me personally, like when we talk about, like, I feel like if a woman is out there working, and this is just me, I feel like if a woman is out there working and we're doing everything when we're talking about bills, because let's just face it, it is a man and a woman's role regardless. If we're talking about bills and I'm doing 50-50, Please don't, just like Greg just said, please don't put that on. I cannot. I'm not superwoman. I'm not claiming to be. I might handle things and make it look good, but I get tired too. And if I'm out here busting, doing just as hard and working long hours, sometimes I don't feel like it. And I'm not going
I
to be
understand.
doing it.
I'm that guy that
That
understands.
understanding of I'm tired. So
I
really,
understand.
it is a most of the time I can say most of the time, every time, whatever. Of course, my stuff is on point for his house and this and that because it never gets behind. So that's the point. Why it's on point because it really, I have to stay on point with that. But my thing about it is if it shall fall behind, I do not have to tell my mate why. He's seeing it that if it's something like that where it's not, I'm falling short, he's seeing it. So I shouldn't have to say, help me, I need help. Or
and he knows
he already know when I left here, I was already tired. I didn't sleep at night. I shouldn't have to come out and say it. That's when partnership comes into play.
That's right. That's right.
So even down to cooking or helping with making the bed if I didn't get around to it, which that's a pet peeve of mine, but that tells you right there that my week going down. If I wake up and my bed isn't made, I mean, that's a dead indication that I'm dead beat. Like I don't pay attention. Everybody knows when they see stuff out of place, I'm already declining that week because it's been a rough week. So I feel like as a mate, if your partner really paying attention, because 9 times out of 10, I'm always, doing, the woman work, the work in my home. That's not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because of the man I have. It's not because I'm not doing it because it's my role, it's my job, it's this, that, and other. The reason why I do everything I do, submissive or not, if that's what they want to call it, because nowadays I learned that it is being submissive because I'm out here doing this and giving my husband way. But the reason why I feel like a woman, like Mr. Quarterman and Harvey is saying, it's not a rule that's spoken because if you have a man that's doing what they're supposed to do, that woman's going to be as submissive as you need.
Going to be submissive. That's right.
Because we feed off of our husbands and our mates.
Right.
Yes, you have to render.
So you don't have to tell me to be submissive. A woman already knows that. You don't have to tell me to go cook and clean because if my man is being good to me, that's my way of showing him.
That's
to
right.
make sure that he comes home to that peace, that cleanness, that cooked meal, that happy feeling. So that's basically how I see like these roles going, So it's a give or take thing. That's what it is. Because I don't mind. Because I know for sure that if I'm falling short, I have a partner that helps pick up the slack sometime. And then and get me back to square one, and I'm on again. So it's give and take things. So I think no woman truly, and some women even like it. Like you said, some women love to be submissive. To a point, I think if you got a man rocking with you the right way, oh boy, you don't mind.
You don't mind.
That's what I was saying prior. Yeah,
that's what you were saying, and definitely 100%. I agree with that.
Perfect.
I agree with
natural.
That.
Should be natural.
Right.
Yeah. It'll all be natural.
Really? Yeah, it definitely is. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Kenya?
Yeah, so like I feel like we've touched you guys answered some of our questions while we were asking other questions. So it's like
you guys have been great with this.
You guys,
it gives me real insight though.
Really does. So in conclusion to all of this is by preference. Okay, would you guys agree? It's about preference, and if a man is taking care of his business for that woman, it is a given that submissive. That's just how we roll.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that security that we need. But when it comes to being a certain type of submissive, it's definitely preference because some men would love for their women to have a voice.
Right.
Of course. I know I would.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Great. Well, this went very well.
It did, guys. Thank you so
I
much.
really appreciate
This was
really give a lot of
amazing.
people insight. So when people see this, they're really going to vibe with what we're saying, because
Absolutely.
it really gives insight of what men, how they truly see this submissive thing and what it really looks like, and to know that women don't mind at all, you know, but it depends on the man. It actually depends on what a man is giving off, because most women will be as submissive as you need her to be, and we don't mind. So I really like that. I mean, I think people are really going to get something out of this, and hopefully really give a lot of people some insight on what submissive really is.
Period.
And what it looks like in relationships. All right.
Yeah, because giving up everything is one thing, but just kind of working with your mate is something different, you know.
Absolutely.
You guys want to work together. You know, that's why I was saying, even if you are a career woman, you have to make amends to the house, because you know you're not going to be home all the time.
Right.
But don't put it on me, because you know I don't feel like coming home and doing all that. I had a rough day too. You know? So, just like Kenya said, you know, most men are just wanting it done. And when it's done, it's like that's a block out of our mind. As long as you can alleviate those problems out of a man's mind, we can just move. We can keep moving.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been great. We definitely want to thank y'all for joining in and tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
We're gonna put this out
No problem.
and so thank you guys. Thank you for joining.
Pleasure.
My pleasure.
Right. Y'all
have a good one,
great
guys.
evening.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies.
All right.